Hi, so that Roshan has time to do all her conducting and putting all the music together, I've said I'll talk through the music of the Agnus Dei. The great thing is that if it's not interesting to you at all, then you can just switch me off because it's a video. So the Agnus Dei is in 3 parts. The first section is like a tenor sandwich. So you've got the gorgeous tenor tune, a little bit of choir, then the tenor tune comes back again. Piece starts with this really nice melody. Must be one of the nicest melodies ever. Then when the tenors come in with their tune, Agnus Dei quitonis peccata mundi. Although it's got lots of repeated notes, it has lots of like leaning notes. Agnus Dei, which gives us its real sense of longing. And the clever thing is that underneath that tune, you hear the violin tune from the original, so you get the 2 tunes together. When you get to letter B, it gets a bit more dramatic, partly because of the chords that are used. So if you letter B, this is what it sounds like. So it suddenly becomes really loud, and it uses lots of diminished chords in this section. And the thing about a diminished chord is it causes lots of tension, and that tension releases. So for instance on Dei, that sort of the stress of the chord then releases, and it goes from loud to soft. So you've got all these diminished chords and all the sort of release of tension, and it's going from loud to soft all the way through. And then it builds up through C. So letter C, Donna. And the lovely thing about that, after Requiem, it ends on F major, which is the same as the starting key, which means that the tenors can come in again. So then you've got your tenor sandwich. The second part starts at E with Lux Eterna, and there's a really clever thing here, because the end of the first section, so at the top of page 31, the Sempiternam Requiem, ends on C major, and then you just have this gorgeous soprano note on lux, which is light, the word light. So it's held. And then at letter E, it moves to A flat major, which is the most amazing feeling. It's the thing that romantic composers like to do. They go, it's moved from C major, which has no sharps or flats, to A flat major, which has 4 flats. So it's moved, the key is moved down a third, and the effect is amazing because the keys are so far away from each other. So this is the start of the middle section. It's really calm, Lux Eterna, eternal light, and it's also very chromatic. You can always tell in romantic pieces when you start to get loads of flats and sharps and different flats and sharps, and it gets harder to read and to sing, that the composers are playing with the harmony. And this bit kind of sinks down in keys. So if I just play a little bit of it, you can hear the chords moving down in semitones. So from Eterna, so it's beautiful, it's absolutely pianissimo, and the chords are sliding down. And then the music repeats, the chord scheme and the music repeats on page 32. And then this is one of my favourite bits in the whole piece. The end of this section is at page 33, and it has a huge build up all the way through that page up to letter G. And at letter G, the whole of the orchestra come in and the brass instrument come in, and it's really, really loud. So I'm going to play through from the top of the page just to give you that idea of how it builds up. And it's really important when you get to the second line, quia pius es, that it doesn't just stay forte, that it absolutely builds up through there. So this is from Sanctus Tuis. Amazing sound at that bit, I love it. And that's the end of the second section. Then the third section, you get the most almighty loud note D, and then it's back to the music of the beginning. Like this ethereal whisper of the choir again, it's exactly the same music as the start. There's still a bit of drama in it, excuse me, like at letter H, it hasn't quite settled yet. There's a little bit of crescendo up to Lux Perpetua, and then it dies down again, and there's the most clever thing at the end, which again should send a shiver down your spine, which is the last two bars of page 35 with the pianissimo Luceat Eis. Sounds like this. And it moves from D minor to D major. So the F natural changes to an F sharp. And when it does that, it just makes everything bright. So it's dark on the Luceat and then bright on the East at the end. And then to finish with, you get the tune from the start. And that's what finishes the piece. The clever thing is that the tune at the start of the piece was in F major, and the tune at the end of the piece is in D major. And D major is a much brighter key than F major. So you get the lovely tune at the end, and it feels brighter as well. Okay, I hope that's been interesting. Happy singing.